Congratulations! You've purchased one of the most advanced locks on the market today, and your Schlage Touch brings unmatched convenience and security to your home. In this video, we'll show you how to install your keyless lock. Before we get too far, make sure you have a tape measure, a number 1 and a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver to install your Schlage Touch. If you'll be using the drive-in faceplate, you may also need a hammer, a block of wood, and a flathead screwdriver. We'll talk more about that later. You can use a power screwdriver, but please do not use an electric drill. It could easily over-tighten the screws, which could strip the threads or even damage the lock. Now, let's take a look at your current door to verify the holes are properly drilled for your new Schlage Touch. For most standard doors that have been pre-drilled, installation can be completed in just minutes. We'll keep a checklist of the questions we'll need answered. If you can't check everything off in that list, you'll need to adjust your door or frame. Start by removing any existing lock and checking your door dimensions. Check to make sure the crossbore diameter measures 2 1/8 inches. The back set measures either 2 3/8 inches or 2 3/4 inches from the door edge to the center of the crossbore, and that the latch bore measures 1 inch in diameter. The thickness of the door is between 1 3/8 inches and 1 3/4 inches. If you can't check off everything on this list, or if you need additional information, visit us online at schlage.com or call Schlage customer service at 888-805-9837. Okay. Now you're going to want to take a moment to locate the parts and components of your Schlage Touch. All the parts and components that came with your lock are shown here. Find your user guide, and on the front of your user guide, you'll find your unique 6-digit programming code and 2 4-digit user codes. You'll use these important codes to manage user access and program features after your lock is installed. So after using them today, store them in a safe and easy to remember location. If you misplace your user guide, the same codes can be found on the back of the outside trim assembly, but you'll need to remove the lock to get to them. A little inconvenient, but a solid backup. You may want to follow along using your installation instructions that were provided with your lock. You'll be installing the latch first. The latch comes with a pre-attached rectangular faceplate with rounded corners, but you can change to an optional drive-in faceplate if your door calls for it. To install the standard rectangular latch, insert the latch into the door edge, making sure the bevel of the latch is facing the jamb, and strike. Secure it with the shorter screws provided. For a drive-in faceplate, remove the rectangular face and replace it with the round drive-in faceplate. Refer to your installation instructions for details. Tap the latch into place flush with the edge of the door, using a block of wood to protect the latch. Now, install the strike plate on the door jamb, using the 2 short screws. Now we'll install the levers onto the outside and inside assemblies. But before we do, we'll need to determine the correct orientation. To do this, simply hold the exterior keypad up to the exterior of your door and choose the lever that points away from the door jamb, with the tip pointed down. If you choose the wrong one, or if you decide you prefer the other orientation, don't worry. The levers can be easily exchanged after the installation is complete. We'll show you how later in the video. With the levers selected, simply slide each lever on the post and snap them into place. Remember to install both the interior and exterior levers. Using the number 1 Phillips screwdriver, remove the battery cover from the inside assembly and set aside. Route the battery cable over the latch and snap the assembly into the crossbore. Snap and stay clips will help hold the touchscreen in place. A wire routing slot is provided on the rear of the inside assembly. Route the cable through the slot and position the inside assembly on the door to align with the outside assembly. Connect the inside and outside assemblies with the two longer screws, but don't fully tighten the screws just yet. Check to make sure the lock is straight, then tighten the mounting screws. Now, connect the exterior and interior battery cables. Attach the 9-volt battery and insert the battery into the holder. Carefully tuck the wires into the space surrounding the battery and replace the battery cover. Now you're ready to test the lock. From the inside, close the door. Then pull on it to confirm that it is latched. If the door fails to latch, you may need to adjust the position of your strike plate. With the door open, turn the interior latch to the locked position. Now, test the outside lever. Don't lock yourself out. When testing the outside lever, make sure to keep the door open at all times. You should be able to turn the lever, but the latch should remain locked. Now, enter one of the 4-digit user codes you found earlier on the front of your user guide. Try the lever again. This time, the latch should retract. If the lock did not perform properly, consult the troubleshooting section of your user guide or contact Schlage customer service for advice. If your lever was reversed, or if you decide you prefer the other orientation, it's easy to exchange. Just insert the wrench pin that came with your lock into the small hole you'll find on the lever base. Push to depress the retention spring and pull the lever toward you. You'll also need to depress the lever retainer spring when you install the lever. You did it! You're done! Your installation is complete. To add or remove user codes or set additional features, turn to your user guide. Your user guide also provides instructions on replacing your battery and even jumping your battery if you should wait too long between battery changes. Thanks for watching and thanks for choosing Schlage. You can also access short videos to help walk you through this process or any others. Just go to schlage.com or visit us on YouTube.